Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a decent Sunday at least. I thought, it would be time to have a live stream here again. It's been a while since we've had the last live stream. I've checked, the last one was actually the Prusa SL1, and that was still in the old studio. So we are in the new studio, first public live stream from here. YouTube members and Patreon supporters have already seen some streams from this place, but yeah, let's just have a chill stream today. Just a quick word of just a quick note before we start. I can't actually talk about the current world situation here on YouTube in detail because demonetization, and that has all sorts of implications. So let's just do a chill Sunday live stream where we unbox a, I don't know how crappy printer that Gearbest sent me that I never wanted, that I never requested, but they sent me anyway. So I am stuck with a, I know this one is a CR10 Mini because it actually says on the box, and this camera is not wide angle enough, but this is a CR10 Mini, I know that. Then this one is actually the one that I have no idea what it is. It has, I mean, if you guys can make sense of these markings. So it does have a bit of text written on here, but that's like internal stocking codes and stuff. This is the one that I have no idea. I think that's the one, because this one says, yeah, this one says X6A. So you can see here, this one says X6A, so that's either an Alfawise X6A or a Tronxy X6A, but that might be the same machine. So I've got my knife ready to cut into one of these boxes. On the count of 3, you guys will let me know in chat. I don't have a fancy voting app. You guys will let me know in chat, not yet, on the count of 3, which one I should unbox. That's going to be either CR10, question mark, or the X6A. Just type that in chat and I will kind of gauge how much interest there is on each of them. So let's go in 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me see. I've got chat scrolling by here next to the camera. Okay, I think we've got, yeah. We have more question marks than I've seen in my entire life. Okay, thank you. Now that is settled. That was surprisingly easy. I thought I would have to do a, like a voting plugin through Streamlabs or something, but that was, yeah. All right, well, so these printers are not fresh out of China. Just to make that clear, these have been sitting in my basement for probably almost 3 years now. These are the CR10 Mini. I don't know if it's even sold still. What's up with this camera? The CR10, I don't know if it's even sold still. I didn't find it on the Gearbest website. But see, the Alfawise X6A still exists. This one, let's just see. Okay, let's just get into this. Hello everyone who has already joined in. Let me know, did you guys get the notifications just fine? I'm hoping that is working. YouTube is usually a bit touchy about sending those out. And thank you, Eric D, for the $2. Glad you're appreciating the content. Oh, it's an Alfawise. It's an Alfawise. This looks interesting. This is a sticker on the. That camera doesn't. Okay, I can zoom in here. That's a stickered heated bed. Let me see. So clips, which means it's a removable bed. It's a glass sheet on an aluminum subframe. This looks like a pretty large printer. That's like 30. That's here at 10 size. And also thank you, Angu Swiss, for the 95. What's that? For the almost 1 Swiss franc. Much appreciated. Thankfully, I can work while other artists cannot. So yeah, if you can call this sort of thing working. I'm alone in the studio, and obviously on a Sunday I'm not seeing anyone else. There's a cable. There's a cable right
hey
there,
Tom,
so
what is your opinion on the Mahor pellet extruder? or pellet extruders in general?
Thank you for the $5, Master PJ555. I guess we're all running around in our PJs when we're not live streaming on YouTube, I guess. What's my take on pellet extruders? So there is two components to that. There is the I'm making my own filament from pellets extruder, and then there's the I'm putting a pellet extruder as a tool head onto my 3D printer. Those two have very different implications. I talk about that in detail with Stefan on the Melt Zone podcast, which, if you Google it, you'll find it. It's themelt.zone. You can actually watch the podcast on YouTube, or you can subscribe on any platform you want, whether it's Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. We're listed everywhere, and we do discuss pellet extruders in great detail. This looks like it's bent. This right here. So yeah, I still don't know what printer this is, to be honest. Have you guys identified it yet? So this is that's not supposed to be that way. This is a part cooling fan, and it's kind of it's pretty crooked on there. U10 or U20, Domenico, you might be on point there. There's a USB drive, and I'm trying to get this box up, but it is. Oh no, there we go. Alfawise U20. I mean, it is a pretty large-ish printer. This looks like it's a color LCD screen. Actually, this doesn't look like it's the typical. Yeah, no, this is some sort of a colored LCD screen. Interesting, but external control box with obviously wires. That is something I hate about printers, and I'm glad that manufacturers are not doing it anymore, or at least not to the extent that it was popularized with the CR10. There we go. Spike missed the hangout, the supporter hangout that we did at 3 p.m. today. You can always watch the recording. That's one of the great things about YouTube. So that's pretty much it so far that we have. There's probably some sort of a manual in here or on the USB drive. Not much here. What did I miss? Thanks for the $3, John. Very much appreciated. Glad if I'm doing my part in getting you guys through whatever you're up to these days. So let's see what we get. Does this have any sort of markings on there? Yes, it does. So here we go. There's our cue. There's our info. This is an Alfawise. I'm taking it. It says Alfawise. Okay, obviously. U20. Alfawise U20. I think that was actually one of the printers, the U10 and the U20, that Gearbest pushed a lot from their side, because it's their own brand. Alfawise is their own house brand for printers. Okay, Alfawise U20. It is. Let's see how that works out. Better Life Shizzy was asking, do I have a job outside of YouTube? No, I do. I'm a full-time YouTube content creator, video creator for a few, I don't know, 3-4 years now. I have studied mechatronics engineering. I did graduate with a degree, and I did that for a while, and then through various adventures out into different companies, I ended up being a YouTuber. I've got that all documented on YouTube on the channel if you want to dig into that. So, I am surprised that there is no... Wow, that actually looks pretty nice. There is no manual. There is no printed manual included. This is... Well, I don't know. Is this a spool mount? Looks like this goes together somehow, yeah. That's a spool mount. Interesting. At least I think it is. Where did I graduate? At the University of Applied Science? No, at the Technical University is now. Technical University Deggendorf. Low Bavaria. So, manual, we don't have one. Let me see, isn't the standard CO10 a 40 by 40? It looks like the same size. So just for reference, just real quick as a reference, let's pull up the CO10. You can actually get the CO10 in different sizes, but the standard CO10, which I'm probably gonna rip the control box out of, nope. The standard CO10, this big, actually has the Wham Bam PEX bed on it. So top, this looks to be the exact same size. Yeah, 30 by 30, I believe. Yep, this obviously is an aftermarket magnetic upgrade. There we go. So pretty much the same size. And just as unwieldy. And thank you for the $10 and Tesla. Good seeing you back on the Patreon live stream earlier today. Appreciate the support. Did that animation actually, so I'm seeing, no, that's, hold on, so that animation is a YouTube super chat animation. That's not showing up on the Streamlabs. Okay, but it's showing up in chat. Nice. All right, I guess for a manual, because obviously I do read the manuals. For a manual, where did that USB drive go? I think we should actually plop this into the streaming computer and see if it crashes and see what's on here. So we get a, let's actually switch to Bcam. We get a micro SD card reader, USB 2.0 with a Kingston 8GB micro SDHC. That looks like a possibly genuine card. Okay, let's plug this in and see what happens. I do have a separate streaming computer, so for reasons, obviously. Link from Gearbest to the build guide. Okay, I will check that out. Let me check the SD card first. So SD card, and that's what we get. We get a bunch of G codes actually. A docx. Let's open that up. That looks trustworthy. I don't have Microsoft Office on this one. Let's see if that reads. You should have one of those cheap laptops. Yes, I will grab one of those cheap laptops. Okay, that is a packing list. What's this? English instructions, there we go. Reading instructions. Thanks for the tip, Matt. Love the content. When will Filament return? Working on it. In fact, behind me you can see one of the Filament testing jigs that I'm trying to get set up. I do want Filament to return in its best shape. So I'm working on it. There's just a lot to do. Notes, specs, don't care. Spotify for Windows. Who was downloading Spotify for Windows? U20 instructions. Alfawise, taking out all the, well, it's a bit too late for that, isn't it? Portal base. Oh, okay, so we're jumping right into fixing stuff in place. So this one has the images on the, does this look different? No, looks the same. Okay, why are you still, no, get out of here. Right, so these have covers, slot covers on them. Mine obviously does not. Mine does not have anything on the covers. It's just the bare V slot, because we are dealing with a printer that has the, oh, these are actually very loose, that has the wheels running on the aluminum extrusion itself, just like the CR10, yes. So step one, assemble everything together. I'm sorry if I'm missing a few messages in chat. I'm trying to keep track, but it's moving past really fast as usual in these live streams. Just Hi Stefan, let's podcast tomorrow. Let's put that in the notes. Let's record a new episode tomorrow. Hey part-time Ronin. Who else was there? Someone. I'm probably missing a ton of people. And actually, I'm missing. Okay, hold on. I actually have to. This and this. That should be there. M5 by 20. So we need some M5 by 20 screws. Let's do that. There's a bag of screws right there. That was the USB drive. Power cord. That's looking like a proper connector. You're gonna read that? No, Streamlabs? You're not gonna read that? Okay. TRM is asking about budget PLA brands. That really depends on where you are in the world. Budget PLA brands are mostly gonna be local Amazon special kind of deals. I like my DOS Filament for Germany, but yeah, it really depends where you're at in the world. So there's not really there's no universal good advice for that. So yes, Hill CT, we are building the Alfawise U20. So we are getting a bunch of little T-clips. So these presumably go on the side just to support the upright, and a bunch of screws. So 4 of these and 8 of these. Okay. This goes on there. That should be easy enough. So the trickiest thing here is always, where are we at? The trickiest thing is always kind of balancing this to make sure it doesn't drop off the table. So let me get everything prepared first. What's up with Streamlabs? Is that not, why are you not reading that out? There we go. Thank you, finally.
New to channel and 3D printing. From Vancouver. Excellent work. Learning a lot. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the praise, Tom. Appreciate it. That is, like I say, it's always my goal to teach things in one way or another. Every now and then you do have to do something that is just entertaining, because otherwise people are going to stop watching. But that's always been the goal with this channel, to to suck as many other people into this into this hobby as possible. No, it's fun. It's fun. Okay, so how do I no, I can't put this down sideways. This is gonna be sketchy. Yeah. Okay, you shaking? Yeah. Stay here. As soon as we have the first screw in, we've won essentially. Because you do have to overhang it over the table to be able to fasten it. So there we go. Yeah. There's one, and now this is at least connected in a way where it's not going to fall off. Are linear rails only getting chat, no video? Might just be YouTube bugging out though if I say anything. Jasper's not gonna hear it anyways. If video and stuff is working for you guys, oh, Jasper seems to be fine. Cool. Yeah. There's 2, and I'm gonna tighten these all up once everything is in position. They do give you a full set of hex keys. So you can see you get a 1.5, a 2, a 2.5, 3, 4, I've got in my hand, and a 5, even though I don't think you need all of them, which is interesting. There's also no, there's no way of squaring this machine up other than relying on these square cuts, on the presumably square cuts on the bottom of these profiles and on these. I guess since they are mass manufactured and produced in a factory setting, they should be square enough, and probably squarer than you're ever going to need for 3D printing. You do have a lot of factors that impact how precisely you can print anyways. So that's that, and then I guess these threaded holes we see on the side here, that button, and then that button. So there are threaded holes in the V slot in the center here, and that's, I guess, where these plates go. There you go. That's interesting. I've not seen the V slot actually being threaded itself. Usually you do put hammer nuts in there, but in this case, I guess they're just skipping those. Hammer nuts are actually quite expensive, so probably saves them like 80 cents. I don't know. Oh, that chat overlay is actually only showing up on the cameras. I should fix that. Thanks for the $3, DJ Rob William. Genuine bed clips? Bed clips? Let me check those. So these are the good old binder clips. These feel the same as every other binder clips. CO10 Mini is basically an in the 3, right? I don't know. Whoops. I don't know. I think there are a few differences in the way it's built. So glass comes off and you're left with, well, this is glass and stickered, and you can see the sticker is not really held down all that well. You see a bit of like air. If I press this down, this should darken. No, it doesn't. But it's the adhesive has smushed together. That is really hard to see on camera. It's smushed together where the binder clips were holding it down. So there's like a build-tag clone surface on here. And this is directly an aluminum PCB. Yes. It looks pretty chunky. It's pretty powerful. What was the first kit you thought was easy to assemble? The first kit that I thought was easy to assemble. Wow. I mean, that is really just a personal history thing. You gonna read that? No? Okay. Oh, this bit. Oh, look. Wow. Wow. I'm just noticing that this thing is, wow. This is rough. What was the first kit that I thought was easy to assemble? I think the Printerbot kits were always fun. The Printerbot Play. That one was actually really fun to assemble. That was before I think that was before the Prushas. Right, fixed block and limit switch. So oh, you still got the T-nuts on there. And a printed little bracket. I guess that changed. So I take it end stop goes on the side of the X motor. Okay. Just wanted to check that out. Yeah, so this probably still needs to be tightened up. So yeah, we've got the first fun printer. Philip James, thanks for the £5 in that case. Any idea if manufacturing in China is picking up? I'd like to get my hands on a Hemera soon, but also understand the need to keep workers safe. As far as I know, China is getting spooled up again, except for the Hubei region. China is back in action essentially. So supposedly there are no new cases, though. Again, I don't want to waffle about that because demonetization. If you want to order a mirror, I'd order it if they're in stock and stuff. No worries there. Okay. Now these plates on this side here. Again, where's the second one? There it is. These plates on the side here, I mean, they're not really doing much. They're more of a somebody said we need to have them Facebook group kind of thing. These really don't do much for rigidity because you have the end of this profile just butted down against this base right there. This connection right there by itself is already a very rigid way of connecting stuff. And yeah, this little bracket really doesn't do much, especially with these small screws. I guess here it does a job to hold the end stop, which you can maybe see from over there. No, I'll show you in a second. It holds the end stop on this side. On the other side, it's more of a decoration thing. V-wheels need some yeah, adjustment. That is correct for the bed. Yeah, Germans, I know you guys are in curfew right now, but chillax. I mean, it's Sunday. Everyone should be home, right? Except people who spend their time making YouTube videos. We can work all day. Yeah, massive control box. Yeah, this is, I mean, if I look inside this, there is a power supply that says LED power supply, so it's some sort of clone thing, and a pretty massive mainboard. This is multitasking in its purest form. There is a rather large mainboard in there that I can't identify. Maybe before we connect this, we can take a quick look inside. It looks like it's 6 screws. We can take a quick look at the wiring inside. Lick the box. These things have been sitting in my basement for 2 years, so they're fine. Why am I not putting Loctite on the screws? Guys, I'm working by the manual, right? Install, there doesn't say anything about Loctite. I'm not using Loctite. So again, these blocks really don't matter. They don't do anything for structural integrity. They don't do anything for stiffness. They're more of a, like I said, somebody told us we need to have them kind of thing. What would be your choice for a $500 to $1,500 resin printer? Is it worth investing the time on a washing and curing machine? No, it's not called that anymore. The CW1 from Prusa has actually been my main reason why I still use resin printers. If it didn't have that, or it didn't have a DIY solution for that, I think they'd just be a huge pain to use. The CW1 makes it usable. You can DIY something like that very easily. You can grab a oh, my vacuum's starting up. Okay, that's the noise outside. You can DIY like a magnetic stir washing station kind of thing. That does work. Curing station, you can grab some UV LEDs. That gives you a very good result too. Definitely consider doing something like that. It is much cheaper to DIY that, obviously, than buying a CW1 or buying the SL1 just for that bundle, but I'm discussing all that in the review. But yeah, sub 500, I mean, the Mars is like the one everyone goes to. It's an okay printer. They're all okay printers. There's not much to go wrong there. Okay, this thing is sticky, oily, all over the place. This is bent still. This is bent. I guess I can bend it back. There we go. Question from Lenny. Are you allowed to go to your office in Germany? Yes. Very much so, but home office obviously is encouraged and does make a lot of sense, which is why, you know, I'm alone. Don't have any full-time employees, but I'm alone here in the studio. Especially on a Sunday. Like, safety features, aesthetic purposes. Chat. What are the chances that safety features are disabled? We can try. We can see how far we get. Either you have suspended sales of Hemera because our motor supplier is affected. Yeah. So no. These hex keys, by the way, these hex keys, by the way, are very bent. Yeah. So this is the X6A. No, this is the U20. Alfawise U20. Put a machinist's angle against the vertical and horizontal extrusions. Actually, let me check if Mito Toyo actually sent me a care package. They reached out to a bunch of YouTubers. Stefan also has this stuff. sent me a nice culprit that I don't want to drop out of the box. They sent a
Here
ruler,
is a small
steel
gift
ruler.
from me because of your videos. Hope you aren't affected too much by people having less money to spend to YouTubers like you.
And a straight edge. That's what Mitsusoya sent a few weeks ago. However, there's no machinist square in there. That would actually be a really nice thing to have. And thank you 3D Print Creator for the $5. I'm fine. I'm fine. I've lost a few 10,000 euros in stocks, but I'm fine. Cries internally. But that is not a YouTuber artist thing. Like actual performance artists that go out to stadiums and now have their events canceled are hit a bit harder than people like me who can't just keep on making videos. How does this open? How does this open? Oh. Okay, so this power connector is actually still connected. There we go. Yeah, family, friends are all okay. My dad was actually still in the US for a, well, for business. He works for BMW, so he was in charge of a few things over there, but thankfully he made it out. I guess all I can say, everyone in the US, good luck. Try and stay safe. Yeah. So yes, friends and family are all healthy and in safety and staying at home. Don't want to do the swear thing because YouTube doesn't like that. So what do we have here? We have a setup that actually looks fairly clean. It looks like the box is way too big for what's in here. How do I? No, I really have to do it like that. So, actually, can I zoom in anymore? Maybe I can use that camera. Cool. But we have a power supply, generic LED power supply. Ground is connected, which is good. Ground is connected to ground, so that's okay. So this frame should be grounded. However, the frame of the printer might not be. Board is a proprietary. Wow, why? Longer 3D. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. 1 second while I adjust this. Top camera is out of focus. Yes, top camera is slightly out of focus. I know. I shall try to fix this. There is a surprise in here. So there's the main board. There we go. Very simple main board. Everything done with connectors, little heat sinks on what I think is going to be an Allegro chip. STM32F103 32-bit chip. So this is a 32-bit printer. Maybe running Marlin 2.0. I don't know. We're going to find out. There is a MOSFET with a gargantuan heatsink on there. So I'm thinking that is kind of bad circuit design because, you know, with this sort of power that we're dealing with, this is probably the bed MOSFET. If you need a heatsink this size, you're doing something wrong. But that's just my take. Otherwise, there's not much to it. Nice crimped connectors onto flat ribbons. There is a flat band cable onto the LCD. But yes, this thing has a longer 3D label on here, so I'm guessing longer 3D is making this machine. Yeah. Anything else to note? So there's one big MOSFET and two small ones. Well, small ones, it's still TO220 cases. So I'm guessing one of them is the, there's another one right there. What are they doing? So you're switching the heated bed, you're switching the extruder, and you're presumably also switching a fan. You're probably also switching the part cooling fan, and I think that's going to be actually one of these. So the part cooling fan is using probably the same type of MOSFET as the hot end heater. So lots of power there. I think, at least it looks that way. And there is some more stuff here. That's actually a, oh, that's a regulator. That's a good old LM2596. So that's a switch mode regulator. So there's a small switch mode power supply here. This is, I guess, just making 5 volt for the board. So yeah, looking all right. Looks like there's a programming port on the board as well. This is actually looking fairly clean. The box is way too big for what's in here. That definitely, I mean, there's the power supply, and then you've got this massive chunker of a box that goes over it. So electronics so far so good. Yeah, and this needs to slide in that side, so there you go. Nope. This power SiC receptacle is actually part of the lower part of the frame. Interesting, I had not seen that before, but I guess it makes wiring a bit easier. And I do have to get these on the right side. There we go. It's a Sierra 10 clone. Yeah, pretty much. I guess I should update the YouTube video title to make sure that this is, people know that this is a wire in the back. What? Wiring looks good. Let me just update the video title real quick so people don't get confused. No. YouTube, where did you put your edit button? No, there we go. Alfawise U20, that's right. Alfawise U20, yeah, okay. Updated, done. Cool. So, 32-bit. Next up, wiring. So there are two. Are these DIN connectors? What are these called? Two of these largish connectors, and we've of course got the matching. These are the female. These are the male connectors. The matching female connectors on the wiring that goes to the machine. And we've got two hardwired bits coming out. That's something I don't understand. Like, why do you put one half of the cabling onto the printer and then put these DIN jacks on it, and then on the other side you hardwire it to the box and you put all these small connect? Why can't you pre-wire these onto the printer and just have connectors to? Because like that you can't really quick disconnect it. I don't know. Doesn't have a Y-axis tensioner. I guess the idea is to loosen up these screws on the side that hold the idler and just slide this entire thing out. I guess that's the idea. But the belt is, yeah, the belt is very, very tight. I should probably screw this box back together before we continue. XLR, no, XLR is different. Similar style, but X-axis tensioner, same idea for that one. You can't really see it, but actually maybe you can see it. Nope, that window is in the way. But the X-axis tensioner idler thing is a very similar idea. You open two screws and it tightens the entire belt. Do I think linear rails are better? Depends. So if you have a printer that uses well-built LM8UU or just smooth rod linear rails, that can print very well. There's a printer behind me that proves that. I'm not a fan of these open build style designs though, because they always require manual tensioning, and usually they end up either too tight or too loose, or they wear down over time. So I would actually rather have just cartridge bearings in a cartridge bearing, as in something like an LM8U, in a setup that doesn't require wheels like that, because the wheels wear down, and you know, there are a bunch of problems associated with that. So yeah. Linear rails are better than this probably, but linear rails are not necessarily better than smooth rods in all cases. Like there are applications where either one can work, as always. Ender 5 and would love to convert it to linear rails or something better. Ender 5. Oh, that's the cantilever one. Yeah. I don't know. That one should be pre-tensioned. Like if you can identify that what your printer has right now is an issue, then you should upgrade. But I'm never a fan of just blindly upgrading stuff because it's a better component, yes. But is it actually going to solve an actual issue you have with your printer? This LCD pointing up sucks. Honestly, so this thing, as you're standing in front of the machine, you're usually bending down to it. I would rather have it on the top than on the front. And I've seen printers where the LCD is just flush on the front, and because of viewing angles and stuff, you stand in front of the machine and the LCD is like here, and you always have to bend down to look at it. I actually do prefer this over something that's flush in the front. Of course, if it's like slightly angled back, as most printers actually do that have a screen, yeah, that would be better, but I prefer this over that, very much so. Cool. I guess wiring time. We do get 5 zip ties. That's a bonus. How do I do this so that I can still use it and show you, I guess. Not going to be able to show you that screen. Oh well, we'll manage. Thanks for the 50 Swedish crowns. Going crucial next after experience with the ANET A8 and the Ender 3. The Ender 3 isn't that bad, but it's not that good either. Yes, I've got full reviews on all the machines that I've used in what? Got full reviews on the machines that I've used extensively on the channel, and I think I'm saying everything that I need to say about those machines in those reviews. Though I've not reviewed the A8. I don't think I have anything to. Oh God! Don't think I have anything to add to that. So a bit of an issue there. This, come on, there we go. This connector right here, not really screwed down. So that's not great. We just had it open. This one is tight. This one's tight and not, well, no, that's just the screw right here, but, and also the sleeving's coming off. That wasn't zip tied down very well. This one is kind of just, there we go. You can plug it in and screw it down, but then the entire thing wiggles around. That should be tight. Yeah, but that shouldn't be that loose. Okay, so that's that. And now let me check back on the manual so that we're actually doing things correctly and by the book, because obviously we have to do that. Wiring. X-axis motor, Y-axis motors. I mean, I know what the motors are. Limit switches, okay. Material limit device. Oh, so this has a material limit device. Okay. I mean, I can feel myself getting into that sarcastic, oh, look, it's a Chinese printer kind of thing. Let's just try and avoid that for now. There is that an optical sensor? What? No. What are you? I want to take you off. I want to look at you. So right here, where you guys can't see it, actually, right there, there is a material limit device. And it looks very interesting. It looks like an optical end stop with a, there you go, one, with a little flap that's just held down by gravity. So I don't think you can print with this one upside down. Stay at home and watch Tom build a Chinese 3D printer. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. Oh no. Oh wow. I didn't, oh. There we go. Let's have a look at this thing. So that's very interesting. I've not seen these things before. All the zoom. All the zoom. So, now if we just get all the focus. This is the material limit device. It is, I assume it is some sort of an optical switch? Because there's no click, there's no resistance, but basically you're pushing your filament past this little flap, and as it pushes in, it probably breaks like an optical line back there. That is interesting. Okay, so it should be fine with rubbing against filament. This shouldn't get caught or anything. I wonder if this wears down over time, and just you know, this flap goes missing after, I don't know, 50 kilometers of filament printed. Time will tell, though. I don't think I'll be using this printer that much that I get to wear this thing down. If you guys have an Alfawise U20 or an Alfawise machine in general that uses this thing, let me know if that actually holds up, because it is a very, very interesting design. It is optical, I think. Although if you look at the pinout, I would assume it's optical. Anyways, let's get it back in there. Test it with a multimeter. I guess I could do that, though I don't have one here. Is this the one that was included? I don't know. Drop the screw. There we go. You get a lot of those switches inside DVD ROM drives. Not sure if it's, yeah, maybe. Oh, that's a nice B camera view. Maybe those are similar. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've taken apart my last DVD ROM drive, or DVD drive in general. If it was optical, wouldn't it need more than 2 pins? Yeah, that's why I'm saying the wiring kind of speaks against it being optical. Because it would need supply and then some sort of an output. So let's just make sure we've aligned that correctly with the feeler probe. No, actually we do need to use the small one. There is no resistance or anything at all. I'm just hoping this is aligned correctly. Is the power supply set to 110 or 220? That's a good question. Let me check. It is set to 230. So that is good. That is good. That is very good. So we've got the there we go. We've got that panel over there. I'm thinking about like how can I position this camera so you guys see this screen. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to prop this up like that so you guys can see what's happening on this camera, I guess, but then I can't use it. So I'll leave the printer like that for now. It's kind of uncomfortable for me, but I guess it's gonna work. Also, this thing should be flat, but I have no way of showing you the screen if it's not. How do you get a Prusa i3 for a review? You spend a few years reviewing printers and making guides and stuff, and eventually Prusa will reach out to you and be like, hey, do you want to test the Mark II? And the rest is history. X motor. Is this connector broken or am I just stupid? No, like this, like that. Very tight fit, but it does fit. The bed is a DC bed. It is supplied by the power supply itself, which is why we have such a chunky power supply in here. I assume it's 20, what does it say on here? 280 watts is what it's saying, and no, it's not saying what internal voltage is. If you guys have checked, then let me know in chat. This is like the worst position to assemble this printer from. I guess if we, there we go. That's a bit better. You guys don't see that much, but plugging in these connectors isn't that exciting, I think. So we've got the E- extruder end stop, okay, and then the E motor. Wish I could give you a more detailed view, but just not really possible. Oh yeah, one thing I'm noticing right now is this thing only has a single Z or Z, whoops, Z motor. So only driving the Z-axis on one side, and this looks like a 4-start, 3-start. Only has it on one side, so the other side is kind of loose to wiggle around. If you look at how much that can wiggle around, yeah. So without this side moving, because this is where the lead screw is, there is quite a bit of room to wiggle, but because gravity, this should be held in place. Is there more than one fan in the control? Is there even a fan in the control box? I don't think there is. Yeah, there is no fan in the control box. Other than the power, yeah, the power supply has one. Okay. Power supply has a fan, but nothing else has anything that moves air, which I guess is why they're using that huge heatsink on the bed MOSFET. Y motor. I like the design with the extruder. To be honest, that's just the standard. You know, actually, this is probably the. I've got one of those. No, maybe the rotate. Yeah, so that extruder is just the AliExpress standard. I think they're like $2.50 or something for this aluminum body with the gear, and that's not a proper extruder gear. It's just a spur gear, which is limited in traction, to say the least. It's not very good for gripping filament. It's okay for like a low-end machine. It does drive filament. It does do the job. It just doesn't do it very well. Don't expect the high. If somebody wants to look up how much this printer is, let me know so I can kind of adjust my expectations to how much you're paying for this. And then we've got a Z end stop, which is there. Swap that for Bondtech. Yeah, swap it for anything really. As long as you have like the drive gear. I think the drive gear is the biggest flaw with this because it's so dull. It doesn't bite into the filament. It's still gonna drive filament, and considering that the hot end, it's a Teflon lined hot end. Okay. Hot end's probably not going to be super high performance either, and actually the fan is blowing right against the nozzle. Oh, because it's bent. 295 bucks, 342 euros, 279. Okay, that's not too bad. So I guess expectations should be in line with that. One thing I'm just noticing is that if I tilt this up, you guys can see that the outlet of the part cooling fan is actually blowing just right against the nozzle, so it's not blowing against your part that much. So we're just going to fix that real quick. There we go, that's better. And now that is actually blowing a bit past the nozzle. Actually, can we fix that a bit more? Maybe. There we go. Yeah, fixed. Better. Did you tighten the loose bed wheels? Not yet. Let me have a look into that. I'm just checking how I can actually lay this printer down. I guess that's gonna work. So we have 6. Wow, 6 bed wheels. And with 6 bed wheels, this thing is, oh yeah, by the way, no bed sensor. So you do have to manually level this thing. 6 bed wheels, it looks like, yeah, they are all way too loose. So there we go. This one's loose, and then these center ones I think are a bit tighter, which is why you can rock it like this. Okay, so there are nuts on the back side of this. nuts that counter these screws, and then you can rotate just a spool mount, and then you can rotate these standoffs, and they will adjust how far the wheels sit away from your guiding surface. So I'm not going to loosen anything up, and I'll just try to well, rotate those spacers. What size is that? That's like a 10 or a 12. I've got this super high quality toolkit here that I bought for the studio, just to have some sort of a basic tool set with me. Like the highest quality stuff you can get. Oh, it's a 10, okay. Oh, well, that's a problem. These aren't even tightened down. So yeah, you can adjust these all you want if they're not locked in. So I'll just rotate these a bit, and then I don't think I can actually clamp the center one down because I'm not going to be able to get a wrench in there in the back. But these ones at the front, I can at least get a bit more tightened down. There we go. So now we need a hex key, and thankfully those are included. Wrong size. Why do I always pick one size off? And then that's an 8, I think. Oh, do I have that? Do I have that? This one says 8. Ha! Got lucky. That now goes in here, and then we basically tighten up this bolt, and that locks this standoff in place. And ta-da! No more wiggle. No more wiggle. Actually, no more wiggle at all. Nothing. It's just that one. And this one's also been tightened up a bit. I will lock this one in place as well. God damn it, this is so unwieldy to work on with the external control box and just no way to lay it flat on the side. That is just one of the things you have to deal with this sort of open frame. There we go. This one needs to be. Oh yeah, that was a quarter turn that this was loose. So now. Much better. The only problem is that this is just rubber feet. Is my table warped or is it the printer? No, my table's warped. Okay. So much better there. Still runs smoothly, but yeah, almost, well, basically zero slack. That's good. Now this wiring mess back here. I don't know. I'm not liking that too much because there is absolutely no strain relief on these cables on the bed. This is an absolute fire hazard back here. Let me show you. There's, what was it, 2 videos back that I did the good and bad cable management, inspired by Corridor Crew, good and bad VFX. There you go. So yeah, back here, no strain relief at all. You can see that the wires, the bare wires bending. These are going to break. These are going to catch on fire sooner or later. This is like the worst type of wiring setup you could do. That by itself would mean that I cannot recommend this printer to anyone, because it's not just the fact that this is on there as is. It's the fact that, you know, they didn't consider this to be an issue. So I don't know how many more of these things where they're like, it's probably going to be fine. How many more of those are hiding somewhere inside the printer? Not just when it comes to wire management, but just in general. The appreciation for detail, just non-existent. So I quickly rerouted this so that it's not getting tangled in this wiring mess, but it's actually laying on top, so when the bed moves, it can move relatively freely. What's up in chat? To make those slots in the y-axis plate, they make those slots. Yeah, there's some slots in there, might just be for cooling, I don't know. Lack of IPA, yes. I think shipping now probably are completely different. I don't know, are they still selling the U20? I don't think there's much of an iteration happening on a design that's been put out there. It's you know, after all, it's a design that's selling well. Maybe one or two little changes, but I would expect at least a, you know, V2, Mark II, you know, those sort of things. An indicator that, oh, this is now a different printer than what was out at an earlier time. Not just because some things may improve, but because it might break compatibility of upgrades or aftermarket parts, or just things that people expect about a printer that might not be there anymore when you have a like silently updated machine that's still called the same. I should get this camera a bit further out the way because I can barely read chat. Rubber, what's going on with... Yeah, so these wheels are also wheels on here. Also the wheels on here, these are Delrin typically, though, you know, I don't know if they're always made out of Delrin. They might be substituting PEHD or UHMW for Delrin, which is very similar, but just a slightly less. Actually, these feel very hard. Might just be PVC, not sure. But typically, the genuine open builds wheels are Delrin. Okay. We've got the material limit device in place. Filament bracket. I gotta pick that up from the floor. Oh, my tea's still hot. That's nice. Green tea. Chinese green tea. Filament bracket got that LCD screen notes. No printing filament. Okay. So that all looks... Machine settings, okay, so we're supposed to use Cura. I don't know what it is that, well, I guess the old Cura 15.04, and I think even when I got this printer, 15.04 was already outdated. I don't know what it is with or with so many manufacturers just recommending Cura. I guess it's because the old Cura is a very lightly branded software. It's still Ultimaker Cura. The newer ones are more Ultimaker branded, and something like Prusa Slicer obviously is too, but they're always recommending Cura. Not sure why. So 300 heated bed, yeah, so basically standard settings for anything, software setup, blah, 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 pronto face, yeah, cool. Got it. Let's power this thing on and see if we pass the smoke test. Just realizing I don't have a fire extinguisher here. In case of fire, what do I use to extinguish? I've got a cup of water here. That should be fine for electrical fires, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna tilt this thing up. Usually using it laying down flat, so you guys can see the LCD screen, though I can't actually use it anymore. Let's put this further back. Well, let's just power it up and see what happens. Okay. There is something on the LCD, which is impossible to read from over here because of viewing angles. So if I look at that screen over there, that's my control screen. That's okay. I gotta plop this thing back. I'm hoping at least from the top view you guys will be able to see this. Top zoom. Maybe if we slightly refocus this thing.
I predict sparks.
There we go. Good old manual focus lens. No sparks. There is a fan spooling up, and that's the hot end fan up here. That's not what you guys want to see. That's the hot end fan up here. That is spooling up. Yes, you can hear that. The power supply fan is also spooling up. There is a blinking blue LED light, which you can see in here. Interesting. Right. I guess step one, leveling. Okay, so this is just a... I guess that's somewhat legible, right? So this is a quick... how do you call it? A quick move macro thing where you move to the bottom left, moves up the z-axis, and then moves the printhead to 0 position, essentially. And then it moves it down roughly over the leveling screw. Oh, we need to pick this thing up. We need to raise this thing up quite a bit. A piece of paper. Since there's no paperwork included, I don't know which paper to use. And I actually don't have any waste paper here. Let me just grab something real quick. No. Hyundai leasing. I'm not going to need that, but shame this. Found some paper. So essentially, why is chat standing still? Have we lost all viewers? You guys still there? Or just sitting on the edge of these seats, just super excited for what's going to happen? So you guys know how the paper leveling process works. I need to refresh my YouTube chat window. Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay, my YouTube chat window was stuck. I thought you guys were gone. Okay. Wow. And we're gonna add something like the BioTouch, not planned right now. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep using this printer after this unboxing stream. So this nut down here is loose, and I'm still not binding. So I guess I'll need to move on to the next adjustment point. Let's do this one. Fan has pretty high pitch noise. I guess if my mic, so obviously microphone right here, fan is right there. That does pick it up very well. The printer right now is noticeable, like the fan noise, especially the hot and cooling fan is noticeable, but it's not loud. I've heard way worse machines. This is something that I think would be okay if it's like 5 meters away or so. I wouldn't want to sit next to it though. It's not an annoying noise yet. We'll see how it does once it's printing. Your inset window always seems to be out of focus. What is my inset window? The one on the B cam? Don't want to focus on that. Printer looks like another CR10. I guess that's what it is, yeah. So this one is actually over here. So this one is just barely grabbing it. That's good. So back to this one via the handy quick menu. I actually do like this quick menu. It's a sticker. It's what sticker? Move the limit switch. Can we actually adjust the limit switch? We cannot adjust the limit switch. So as on some other printers, this limit switch over here, this guy, is non-adjustable. It is screwed to the bracket that is holding the outward, that is reinforcing the upright to the lower part, and it is non-adjustable. So there is no adjustability in that end stop. You do it all through the come on. Oh, we went too far. We do it all through the leveling screws, including the offset. And then, of course, if you want an additional offset, you do it through your slicer. What sticker? Is the end stop disconnected? Nah. It's fine. It's fine. What is that disconnected? What's the disconnected wire? No, okay, there's a, okay. It's just a flag. It's the label, okay. I see what you guys mean. Yep, so back here. Yeah, we're missing like 3 or 4 millimeters. You can bend it a bit, I guess, but I'm okay with adjusting it the way it's supposed to be. We're already going off the recommended instructions a bit already. Okay, so I wish there was a button for actually sending it to the center, because just because you have each corner set up correctly at the correct height doesn't mean the center also has to be at the correct height. And this is typically where you're going to be printing, not in the outside corners. We do have the unlock XY, so we can just push stuff around by hand. I guess that works. And actually we are a bit high in the center. Just a bit too high. Maybe I'll give these, which direction do I have to turn? This way. I'll give these like a quarter turn down. No. Maybe that was more of an 1/8. Okay, there we go, that's enough. Why were you so loose and are now so low? Okay, that's better. We're not going to be using the entire bed for the first time, but just note this bed is not perfectly flat. It is a glass bed, which kind of has me confused why it wouldn't be flat, but you know how it is, it's getting bent around or whatever. With a printer this large with no auto leveling, you are usually going to be using some sort of a probe and some sort of at least mesh correction, or at least like a general auto leveling algorithm. It just doesn't make sense to manually level a bed that is, I mean, at a 30 by 30 you can do it, but if you're larger, it's almost impossible. How hard should you grip the paper when doing this? That entirely depends on how your printer is built. If it has a very flexible z-axis, so if you can push this up very easily, it doesn't have to grab the paper very hard. For something that has a very rigid z-axis, like this guy, which has probably 2 or 3 pounds on the z-axis, if this grips it, this thing only goes from, hey, the paper is now torn to shreds, to it's loose. But with something that has a z-axis that is, that elastic, that's just, one finger lightly pushing it up, you don't have to grip it very hard. Okay. So I guess now we're ready to print. Let's actually have a look through the menus here. What else we get? Do we get I would like a load filament setting. Okay, so we head into the extrude menu. Extruder is at 22, bed is at 20. Auto feed out, auto feed in, and that's a bubble with a stop sign, with a stop playing sign. So like E plus, E minus, I'm thinking that's like a feed in, feed out thing. Let's use the, oh, we forgot to use to set up the spool mount. Are there screws included for this? Because it looks like this needs to be screwed together. Goodbye, camera. No! Oh no! Oh no! This is getting zip tied together. It looks like. Let me fix that top camera real quick. Power supply on that isn't great. I need to get the battery, the dummy battery out. There we go, and pop it back in, and it should come back to life. Yeah. I've just got the camera plugged into the TV that's showing chat, and that 5-volt USB output isn't that great. So I'm wondering what I'm supposed to put in there, because there's nothing that is actually going to balance the spool. Did I miss something? Filament, okay, so there's just a rod. There's a rod, okay, okay. Yeah, that works. So let's try and use the included filament. Guessing this is a PLA. What about the box with the included spool? Yeah, opening it up right now, but it's just a spool. Do you not have to heat the bed up before leveling? I guess you should, but it's going to be at the same, basically at the same height once it's heated up versus while it's cold. It only warps out of place while it is heating up, so while the temperature is changing. Let's maybe use a larger one. Oh, that doesn't fit all that well. Oh. I don't know what I'm supposed to put in there. It looks like there's like a turned down 8mm shaft or something, but I don't have that. So if I do auto feed in, let's try that. Does it actually? Oh no! Why you? If I do auto feed in, just doesn't do anything. So I guess I have to feed the filament first. Can I do auto feed? Oh, I probably have to preheat. Oh, okay, okay, it's heating up. So auto feed in automatically preheats the hot end. Can I actually? I think I can grab. No, I can. Why is this light off? There we go, ambient lighting. I can grab a different battery pack and just quickly hack this together. I don't even need to climb up there. So this goes in there. That goes there, and the top camera should be alive again. Now, where do I put this so I don't drop it? Yes, there. Top camera? Ah, yes. 145 degrees. Fire up your lathe. I don't have the lathe here, I have that at home. I could turn up a piece that goes in here, but yeah, not right now. If you were to build a printer, what design would you use? CoreXY Delta or Cartesian? Probably CoreXY or something that looks like a CoreXY. I very much like the design that the Markforged Mark II uses, where it's a linear y-axis. No, it's a linear x-axis, but then the belt is routed, so it's like a Core XXY. It's very interesting. It's a very rigid design and very simple too. That's one of my favorites still. Check the box again. The box is empty. Oh, no. Hold on. I found it. Found it in a little baggie. I put this on one of the other boxes. Okay. So we do have this little clip thing. Yeah, there's a few screws in here as well that you should fix this together with, but this just goes in here and in here. No, maybe. Yes. Yes. Okay, there we go. Injection molded. So, oh, you stay in there. I guess I should have screwed this together. Injection molded spool bracket. Is it possible to drive a laser with the... Is it possible to drive a laser with the Do-It 2 Wi-Fi board? I think it is, yeah. Why wouldn't it be? Auto feed in. Okay, so it is now feeding in. It's now turning the extruder. And it is feeding in very, very slowly. Please don't yell in chat. So, there you go. What a beautiful shot. So it is feeding it in automatically. It is just very slow. I can maybe try and show you where the filament is feeding in. Oh, it's too bright. So the filament is right about there. No, that's impossible to see. I shouldn't inhale this tea. One second. Mic mute. Oh God. Okay, where are we at? We are here. Oh, I just... Yeah. Drinking is hard, guys. Can I like... Well... Here it comes. So how do I stop this? Oh, I press the stop. Press the stop. I press the stop button. Okay, so we have... That's interesting. You guys seeing what I'm seeing? It's like... It's Michael Jackson, but backwards. So this printer obviously was tested with some black filament before. And, oh yeah, I could have preheated the bed while we were at it. Let's do 65. So, okay, I guess that would be, how do I actually get parts onto this? Oh, there we go. SD card slot. That's what we wanted. This interface looks kind of cheap. This isn't something that I've seen before. Definitely doesn't look like a modern interface. But let's just set up a quick printing profile. We still have the SD card in the printer. There's the button. When is this slicer from? 1990, 2.1.0. That's recent enough. Last use for the Raptor. Actually, that profile is going to work probably. Let's just do a new printer. Yeah, no. No. Yes. So we're going to do U20. It probably speaks RepRap's printer. We've got a rectangular 300 by 300 bed model. We don't have a model. Not laminate 0.4, 175. That works. Extrusion temperature. Let's do 220 because I don't know what this hot end does. Let's do 65 for the bed. Cool. So defaults in Prusa Slice are actually kind of bad. So custom G code G2080 that works. Lift nozzle that also works. Turn off temperature. However, there is no turn off bed temperature. So we actually need to add a M140 S0. So if you just used this profile without changing anything, the printer would finish. It would have the hot end turned off, but the bed wouldn't turn off. I don't know why. Also, well, I guess we can use the Raptor settings or the U20. Cooling, does it use cooling? No, it does. Yeah, that looks reasonable. Not using that. Cool. Not needing that. Okay, that looks reasonable. Print settings. Now, okay, by default, it's using a 0.3mm layer height. Why? First layer height, I usually like to bump that up quite a bit. Perimeters, we only need 2. Alfawise is not using that. 3, it's fine. Yes. Get over here, yes. Guess that works. Infill. Now, why the heck are you using stars infill? Prusa, get your stuff right. We want to use gyroid. Also 15 for what I'm going to be printing, it doesn't matter. Rectilinear, combine, that works, that's okay. Skirt and brim, no brim, that's okay. No support, that's also okay. Speeds are okay actually. Speeds are actually very decent for what's in here. Travel 130, that's a bit slow, let's do 300. The printer has limits, if the printer's set up well, the printer has limits built in. So if we specify speeds that are past what the printer can do, it should automatically slow itself down. This looks okay. Don't have that. That also looks all right. So we good here. Save that, save that, save that. G28, that works. Why did I review an Alfawise? I've never reviewed an Alfawise. I've unboxed one. An unboxing is per definition not a review because I've literally, if I look at my OBS stream timer, where is it? There it is. I've only spent 30 minutes on this printer so far, and 30 minutes, 90 minutes on this printer, and within 90 minutes you can't make up your opinion on a product. So, very empty. Very much nothing in here. What we will be printing is, I think, one of the masks, though I've looked up how long that would take, and it is a bit too long. So let's grab that real quick, if I can find it in time. There's no way to octoprint. You can probably use octoprint with this machine. It does have a USB port. It does have a standard USB, what is it, B? Yeah, full-size B port on the side. Octoprint probably supports it because you probably can use it with a standard G-code set. Now, all you guys complaining about where's my OBS set? Thingiverse being slow and buggy. Prusa printers is having a hard time today as well. I've tried to load this a few times, and it's just always loading into widescreen or not loading it at all. Yeah, I don't know if it's getting hammered with requests and stuff, but yeah. What was it going at? Here, Prusa mask. We'll Prusa, come on, there we go. Just trying to find the link. Face shield design, is that? No. This RC1, actually they had RC2 somewhere. I guess this is going to be both. Why are you not loading? Do I actually need to use Edge? Isn't this fun, trying to get a design and not having the website load? Yeah, yeah. This isn't loading. Let's see if Thingiverse is better today. Guess it's something. Yeah, Edge is actually... I only use Edge when I need to use a browser that I'm sure I've never used before in that site. Like if I want to know if, hey, I've got some bad cookie in my browser or something that prevents the page from loading, I use Edge because I know for sure that Edge is a browser that has never been touched on this computer. And it looks like Thingiverse is not doing any better either. Wow. It will load. It's just going to be a few... Oh, there we go. There we go. This is loading. Yeah, I think Prusa Printers is just way overstrained today with all the press they're getting on their face masks, and that's actually what I want. Thingiverse is not doing much better either. What is going on? I just want the fire. That should be it. Okay, I guess we're not going to print the mask today. So I would have printed the mask on 50% scale simply because the full-size version is going to take way too long. It's going to take like 3 hours. But I guess we're just printing something I already have. Let me see. What's this octopus? Octopus? Give me a second here. And you're not loading, cool. Oh, that's that one, that was our STL. Eastman Pirate Bust. Ooh. Actually, we could try that. We could actually try that. Scaled down though. Way scaled down. Oops, nope, that snap doesn't work. Are we loaded yet? Oh, we're loaded! Okay, okay, we're gonna print that. Sorry about the delay. Let's see if we've got our preferences right with background. Yes, that's on. So I'm not going to print a functional face shield, though. That is, if you've got printing capacity, that is a very good thing to print right now. Scale you down. Why am I not getting hello? Thank you. So if you scale this to like 30%, that is maybe going to print. 52 minutes. 25%. That's actually going to be a way challenging print. I like it. So, no, can I? Why am I? Logitech, no, okay, there you go, right click. That is going to be a way challenging print. We're going to see how it goes. No tuning done, gyro infill. I've printed this on the SL1. And it came out great. So let's just export this and see if we can print it. When did I review a Prusa Mini? I don't have a Prusa Mini yet. They've not sent me one. And ordering one has months of a lead time. I'm hoping this device is currently in use. I'm hoping I'm going to get my hands on one fairly soon. I've gotten offers from people who are just getting there. Why are you still in use? Oh, because I've still got the guide open in Edge here. Okay. I've gotten offers from people who were saying, okay, I'm going to send you my printer, but I'd rather, have people use their printers that they've paid for and ordered. Because if I do want to make a reasonable review on one, it's going to take me a bit, and I'd rather not take their time with their printer from them. Okay. SD card is in the box. Why does Prusa Slicer make infill so dense in spots? It is to it's to backfill slopes. So that you're not seeing, I can show you in a second. That menu is interesting. So that's selected, now I hit print. Are you sure to print this file? Yes. There's the home, and it's running over the binder clip. Cool. Doing the Z home. So binder clips can work really well, but these are apparently encroaching in your print volume. So you're always going to have to make sure to work around where these are tied down. Cool. So, yeah, why does pressure slice make it so dense? Okay, I've already closed it out. But basically, when you have a slope, like this, and you don't have enough perimeters to overlap enough to not have any visible gaps. Why am I showing this over here? It's basically backfilling in here to make sure there's that thickness in the Z direction. So, there, 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 there. And let's switch over to manual focus and focus you. Whoa, okay. I guess that's good. You look like you're... Oh, you're switching to white. Okay. I was like, where's the filament going? But that is looking decent. So if I can, how do I do this? Like that. Why are you? Here we go. And I can maybe even shim up the printer so you guys can see underneath with some shims. How convenient. One and two. Guess that's a bit better. Okay. Done. It's printing. Smells like PLA. I guess it's PLA. Not checked. Feels like success, to be honest. So they've... It's like in front of my face the entire time. How am I liking this Chinese printer? I don't know. It's hard to get excited about these because they're all kind of Tronxy motor. It says Tronxy motor on here. They all print. They all kind of work, but they're all kind of bad in their own ways. This sticker doesn't come off. Like the cable management situation back here, where there's absolutely zero strain relief on the bed. That's an absolute no-no. It looks like the printer is built decently, like it's an aluminum frame. It's like a CR10 knockoff. The menu looks horrible. It's functional, I guess. Yeah. I guess the screen. The thing that makes it so bad is that the screen is so bad. I don't know if I can show you. Yeah, it's really dim, and it has really bad viewing angles. And now that the part cooling fan is kicked in, the printer is also quite noisy. Like, ooh, looks like that filament is moist. It is also quite noisy when you use the printers that are almost inaudible during use. This is quite loud. So I take back what I said earlier, where it's like, hey, I would be okay with this being like 5 meters away from me. No, this needs to be in its own room. For sure. Bryant was commenting that was a fast heat up. I had already preheated the bed and I think the hot end as well. I had preheated this before I even got started because I knew it would take a while. I didn't want to wait, those 15 or 20 minutes for this to heat up. He was saying it looks really bad, 3D RCNC. It actually looks... Yeah, it does look pretty bad. So the extruder is not very responsive. But it does lay down the filament more or less consistently. It also looks like it is way too hot, so let's try and do... Let's try and do a quick real-time adjust. So we can actually adjust the temperatures. It is set to 215. I'm going to bump that down to 205. Distance 5, I don't know what distance 5 is. I have no idea. Yeah, fan, let's kick up the fan, but that's going to get overridden really quick too. Oh, let's actually pump that to full speed. Just give you an audible experience. Yeah, that is pretty loud. So I've knocked down the extruder temperature to 205, and I just saw it dropped down to 197. So the PID tuning in here is not all that good. I need to set up linear advance. Well, I know Bowden's used to work without linear advance. It's actually looking all right. I mean, it's a 0.25 millimeter layer height. And this is way zoomed in, like just for reference, that's how big my finger is. Oh, look at that beautiful fingernail. That's how big my finger is. So this is quite zoomed in, so I can zoom out a bit. Sausage fingers, yeah. This is zoomed in quite a bit, so you do see every detail. And this tool head in its entirety is actually, it looks very compact, it looks very small. It's way bigger on something like the CR10 or the Ender 3. This box that you see here is just bigger there. Swiss clips. Binder clips, I guess. That's what these would be called. These on the bed right there. That's what I don't know them as. The fan setup is funny though, yeah. If you were following the stream along, you no doubt have seen the fact that this fan was just entirely bent out of shape and was just blowing over the hot end. So I did bend that back. Yeah, it does have a rather weird kind of fan shroud on there. It also has these spaces. I guess that they tried to drop it down a bit lower than it used to be. Why not use a radial fan though? This is an axial fan that has a shroud to make it work like a radial fan. So don't get that. Cedric is asking, did it come with 3D printed parts? So I'm interpreting that question as, does this printer use 3D printed parts? It uses 3D printed parts. Here on the, you guys cannot see that and I don't want to move the printer. The filament sensor uses a 3D printed bracket, which makes it look like an afterthought. It makes it look like an add-on, and it probably is because this extruder that they're using, also behind the column, okay. This extruder that they're using is just the standard $2 or $3 AliExpress special. I've actually ordered these for $3 with free shipping. And then they've got the 3D printed bracket. They've also got like a 3D printed filament guide in the extruder and spring guide. Never seen that before. And there is a 3D printed fan shroud, obviously, up front here. The black part that's hanging off the fan, that is 3D printed. But everything else is either bent sheet metal, aluminum extrusions. Yeah, that's it. It's sheet metal and aluminum extrusions. Which of course limits how they can design things, but it does work. Agreeing with that 3R CNC, bending an airstream 90 degrees right out of an axial fan. Come on, I didn't want to focus. Oh, now we can, wow. Now we're really zoomed in, okay. Bending an airstream 90 degrees right out of an axial fan, not the best thing to do. Any other notes on the printer? Well, it is basically, if I look at my CR10 over here, it's as much a clone as it gets. Like, if we're honest, this is very much a carbon copy. There are a few design changes, like this bit right here is a sheet metal part instead of using brass standoffs. The tool head is a bit different, but everything else is basically the same, the way it's built. They're using different components for sure. But even like I'm just noticing that the CR10 actually uses the exact same style connector for the electronics box that I've asked about here. So these back here, same thing, exact same thing on the CR10. Also, CR10, same issue with the bed wiring, not having any strain relief. I don't know. These printers are just dime a dozen, more or less. CR10 is a clone of clone. Yeah, sure, definitely. It's just that this style of printer has stuck around, I guess, and that's just what everyone is doing. But again, I do have to add this disclaimer that this is not a printer that is fresh from China or freshly sold from Gearbest. They have been sending me stuff a few years back. We're just randomly sending out printers, which is the entire premise of this video. We're gonna see what they do, or what they actually sent me, and whether it was actually worth unboxing it. This is a printer that's been sitting in this box for a while. So I don't know, the printers today that Gearbest is making under the Alfawise brand is probably different, probably less CR10 inspired. I don't know. Yes, it's a print. How many printers do you now have laying around? Too many. I keep them for reference. So from back here, this print is actually looking much better than what you guys are seeing. I'm actually very okay with the quality of this untuned profile with like retracts not even tuned in for a Bowden. From the front, it does look rather bad. And rotate this around a bit. Focus. It does look bad from the front. So, yeah. I guess let's zoom out a bit. It doesn't look all that bad. What is my opinion on the TiVo Tarantula Pro? I'm not gonna touch that brand. I don't wanna get bot downloads on my videos again because I criticized them. So, nope. Is this printer better than an ANIT A8 Plus? No idea, because I've not tested an ANIT A8 Plus, and I honestly don't really want to, because I mean ANIT has a bit of a reputation, especially the ANIT A8. If they have something like an ANIT A8, I think they should have at least renamed it. I don't know. So, for reference again, what we're printing right now is this fantastic design that I've printed on the SL1 before by Eastman, the Pirate Bust. However, this is scaled down to 1/4 of the size. So it is quite a bit smaller. It looks a lot better from this perspective, believe me. The white on white is bad to show on camera, but we should be about halfway through actually. Do we get any stats? No, we are not halfway through. At least not when it comes to the moves. We are 14 minutes and 40 seconds in, and the print was supposed to take like 35 minutes. Yeah, I know, it looks a lot like a blob. Ken the Dozer, this printer is around $300. Actually, while this is printing, let me just put a link in the description. Gearbest U20. Alfawise U20, great scale 2.8-inch touchscreen DIY 3D printer. DIY 3D printer, is that like an excuse of, hey, this printer is actually for you to mod and to get working, and we don't care how it's out of the box? That's the feeling I get from many of the printers that are called DIY, even though it's two-part to assemble. They're just saying it's just the basis for you to make it your own, kind of like what most people are doing with Ender 3s, and then are saying, hey, the Ender 3 is such a good printer, but they've spent a month on modding it to perfection, which is legitimate, but that doesn't make the Ender 3 a good printer. It makes the printer you turned the Ender 3 into a good machine. Nope. Okay, close. Where's my YouTube window? Give me 1 second to insert this link in the description. That's an Alfawise U20. There we go. It's in the description now. Obviously, because it's Gearbest, I am allowed to say that when you use the links in the description, I do get commission for you using it, and it does help the channel out. Not allowed to say that with Amazon. But since this is Gearbest, you do help out the channel if you use those. Even if you buy something entirely different. Just saying. E-steps need to be calibrated? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it from my side. It's like, maybe if you give it a bit more dramatic lighting and turn off this guy maybe. Yeah. Let's do the other way around. I could have just started to print from the other. I could have started to print on another machine and just. That makes absolutely no difference. Could have started to print on another machine and just given you a reference. But it's too late for that now. What is this thing even called? Is it called Alpha? I don't care. I'm just misspelling it on purpose, I guess, now. Much better with the lights off. Let me actually grab another little light and see if we can somehow get an accent on there that makes it. Oh, now it's just way too bright. Now, I mean, that's why I don't like white filament for filament tests. You can never show what the prints actually look like because it's just so bad, so horribly bad to film. Red filament is really hard to film, so I usually just like muted colors or like pastel colors and stuff, and not the pure red. What about thermal runaway? We can test that once the... Can we actually test that? I think I can just unplug the extruder once this print is done and see what happens. I think I can also unplug the bed. Yeah, so the bed definitely. Extruder, yeah, I can also unplug the extruder and just see what happens. Are you going to unbox the other printers that you got sometime? Maybe if there's interest. The other ones are the Tronxy or Alfawise X6A and the CR10 Mini, which is a printer I don't think exists anymore. So, yeah. Gray is the best. Gray is a fantastic material to show print flaws. So if you have a silver starts hiding stuff because it's metallic. But if you have a gray filament, your prints are always going to look horrible. It's just, it's so unforgiving with showing every little flaw. If you want your prints to look perfect, you're going to use something like a metallic or pearlescent, well, not pearlescent, but like a metallic, glittery, flaky filament. But just a plain gray, yeah, expect your prints to look bad. Small details don't look good. Yeah, I mean it's a Bowden setup with no tuning, so that is kind of expected. Peter's asking, does not have double Z guides. So it does have guides. It does have the linear guides here. So wheels on both sides that run up and down these rails. But it only has the lead screw on one side, which you can kind of see. This is like the top. Is there a bearing there? No, there is. Okay. So this is like the top cap of the lead screw, whereas this side is just nothing. So this X-axis can actually tilt a lot. If I were to push down here, you would see it in the print. But because gravity is always the same during a print, it doesn't, like, there's nothing pushing down on this end. This typically does work pretty well. I mean, you can now see, like, in the upper part of the body, it's not looking that bad. The layers are nicely stacked. What does Prusa ship with gray? I think they ship with a metallic gray, which does look good. What nozzle do you recommend for carbon fiber filament? PR Sicken123 is asking. Anything that is hardened, I guess. Definitely not stainless steel, because stainless steel is just, it has its use cases, but you're usually not going to need it. Hardened steel or a Nozzle X also works. That is what I would recommend. Did I mess up the video description? Maybe I did, maybe not. Oh yeah, I did. FCC compliance. While we're at it, let's fix this as well. There we go. To be honest, that print is, I mean, even on camera, it's not looking that bad right now, right? It's looking all right. Just ignore like the lower part. If you just look at that, it's all right. Tungsten carbide, too expensive. What orange PLA can you recommend? Whatever PLA is available to you in good quality, and then pick the orange one. What are tungsten thermal properties like? Not that great, I think. Green tea, so good. What are you printing? Well, let me just show that again. So this is what that's going to be. Pirate Bust by Eastman, Eastman.xyz. This is actually a paid model. I think it's like $3 or $4 or something. I bought it just because it's such a great design, and Eastman makes some really high quality designs. In general, some are free, some are paid. So if you want like a really good showpiece, look at that detail. I've printed this thing on the SL1 and it looked amazing. You can see that in great detail in the SL1 review. Thoughts on Thingiverse redesign? I've not used it much. It looks like a very bland site now. How's the studio preparation going? Studio is actually in full operation. So, I mean, I've been using this space for the last month or so in full production. It's going great. It's working out well. Office is over there. You've seen that in some recent videos. Working out very, very well. Tungsten carbide has a thermal conductivity of 110 watts per meter Kelvin. Okay, so it's not that bad. It's actually very decent. No discount coupon on Gearbest. You'll find one. So while that's printing, let me just open up Prusa Slicer again and show you the preview for what this part was looking like. Multitasking. So that's how that looks in Prusa slice. That's how it would usually look at a 0.25 millimeter layer height. All that aliasing. And if we actually go in here and scale it down to the size that we're printing at, which is 25%, so that is teeny tiny. This is what's left of the design. So, I mean, in either case, it's not going to be very flattering because it's just, I mean, you're going to see layers, but this is what it should look like, and this is what it's looking like, and I would say that's not too bad. I guess if we turn on this slide, turn off the slide again. I guess that does look a bit better. So let's just leave that off for now. Brian, glad you're enjoying the live stream. Again, I'm not trying to achieve anything today with this stream. It's just, hey, you know, we're all in a shitty situation right now. Let's just do just do something that's laid back, you know, normal, I guess. Let's have a chill live stream, unbox a random, not that great printer, print something, chat for a bit. I don't know, just felt like it today. Delamination, nope, not seeing any. I guess it is there. Can you pan the camera up a bit? I guess this should be good. You can zoom out a bit, if that helps. What is the print speed? Print speed is actually the default for what Prusa Slice is saying because the speeds are alright. So we're anywhere between 60 for perimeters and 15 for small perimeters and top solid and infill. External perimeters are 30 then, so it's on the lower side. But yeah. Is that what it's supposed to look like? I'll show you once we're done. I know this isn't a great demo print. And I know I knew this was going to be a print that wouldn't look all that great, but hey, it's a torture print. And if this turns out decently, which I would say it is turning out decently at least, then I think that shows more than printing, you know, a test cube or something. Layer height is 0.25. Pastel deep green shade. Green tea PLA. Yeah, so Protopasts are actually making, what's the lighting on me actually right now? Oh, it's a bit one-sided. Protopasts are actually making are actually making filament with a bunch of different flavors to it. 3D Printing Nerd notably, I think, has made bacon filament, which was more of an art project, to be fair, than an actual usable filament. But they've also got coffee filament, which is using coffee grounds. I think they've had like a rose oil kind of, yeah, Valentine's special. I think I might even have a spool of that, or at least a sample. So those would be the guys to talk to if you want some custom flavored filament. And actually, since it's PLA, I guess you could technically eat it. Squirrels seem to like chewing on it. What's the infill pattern? Gyroid, yes. What's my favorite printer to use? So I've actually talked about this on the supporter live stream that we did before this public live stream. If you don't know, I do hold roughly once a month. I usually don't get around to doing it once a month, but roughly once a month. live stream for patron supporters and YouTube members. And one of the things that I noted was that printer, Prusa Mark III, that is just my go-to, because you have a slicer, you have profiles that are tuned in really well. I know you can pick up the printer and it's just going to print. That's one of the things I liked about the Printabot machines. That it is a printer that you can leave sitting for months and like forget your entire printing profile and just not know how to use it anymore, and you just use some default profile and it's going to print great and it's going to print reliably. The Prusa machines are that, but better. So I do most of my prints on the Prusa. Specifically on this very Prusa Mark III. I've loaned out one of my other Prusa machines right now, so I've got one Mark III and two of the Mark IIs. One of those Mark IIs is kind of in disarray. So yeah, that printer has been doing like 99% of my printing needs in the last, I don't know, months at least, because it's just so easy to use. It's no fuss. You just use it. It just works. Orange filament that smells like oranges, I guess. Yeah, Spike agreeing on that. Yeah, Mark II, same thing. Just pick it up, just prints. That's what I like about printers. Even if it doesn't print super duper nicely, and I mean the Prusa machines do print very well, but even if it's just a machine that you can always trust, that is built in a way where you don't have to do excessive maintenance or excessive modding, and you just know it's going to be a printer that you can use for printing, that is a big plus in my book. Orange filament that smells like oranges. That sounds like a really good idea. Let me tweet that at Protopasta real quick. Oh, I'm not signed into Twitter. Fantastic. Where is my tweeters at? An art object. Yes, it is an art object, but I'm not gonna show it again. At Protopasta. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Toms3DP. Chad is requesting orange filament that smells like oranges. Possible? Let's see what Protopasta say, because if anyone can pull it off, it's them. Ah, yeah, there is a bit of printing issue. A bit of a printing issue that's starting to emerge, where the extruder is just not keeping up. But that's something that was expected, simply because of the extruder design and the way of using a spur gear as a filament drive gear. That's rarely a good idea. That goes in here. Now I love this little tool suitcase that just has everything in there. It's just a bit tedious to use because you've got these flexible bands that you hook the wrenches in. And then the same for pliers and stuff. It's okay just to have tools at hand. What's that, burnt crud? I don't see no burnt crud. Oh, there. Ah, It's just stuff from the extruder, or from the nozzle, to be accurate. Adding smells to filament seems kind of a hipster idea. Now, you know, smells are really more of a psychological thing, if anything. I know how, so whenever I print ABS, my brain goes back to building my very first printer, which was a sales medal in like the project rooms of my university. which was good times. I was hanging out with a buddy. We were ordering pizza. We were building that thing. We were rebuilding it 3 times. So I like the smell of ABS, even though it's probably carcinogenic and partially unhealthy. My brain connects that smell of ABS with having a good time building my very first printer. So, you know, if ABS smell can do that to me, like the range of emotions and just associations with certain smells that you can evoke with a PLA smelling a specific way, I think that there's room there. There's room there. Yeah, obviously don't breathe ABS fumes. Possibly also don't breathe PLA fumes because it's still small particles. But yeah, just, you know, just a consideration. ASA smell is the worst Marcus official has ever had. ASA, the ASA that I've used from Ridge Inc., who are now out of business, actually smelled almost not at all. It almost had no smell to it. So it really depends on the specific grade of filament that you're using. So we're almost done. We're up to the face and the rat. Obviously, yeah, it's largely it's a small print. It's a Bowden printer. We're gonna look at that in a second. Have I tried graph milk filament? Nope, I have not. Bed adhesion looks great. Bed adhesion is probably not. Oh yeah, bed adhesion actually is great. This stuff is not. This is not coming off at all. It might actually be too good. Have I tried any cubic PLA filament? Nope. So yeah, back to the noise of this printer. It is very noisy. So obviously, because this is one of those hollow IKEA tables, the motor noise is being slightly amplified. So this is louder than what you would have if using it on a solid table. But even the fan, like this part cooling fan, is excessively noisy. Yeah, it's a loud printer. It's a loud printer. At least it's not, like, for me the worst, because I still hear, or at least I used to still hear, those very high-pitched frequencies that the DRV-825, the Texas Instruments drivers used to make. At least it doesn't make any of those noises. Those would be even worse than just fan noise for me. But yeah, nonetheless, this is still a very noisy printer. About stream quality, apparently YouTube is saving data now as well by lowering the stream or video quality on your side, on playback. I tried watching Netflix yesterday, and it was actually streaming in like 375p or something, so really low quality, which looks like garbage on a modern LCD TV. So basically unwatchable, and YouTube is probably doing the same. Though I did get 4K streams today. It might be, it might be local, that some regions are getting lower video qualities to get to save a bit of bandwidth. Yeah, probably just depends. Back to 360p. Yeah, so this stream should be up to 1080p 60. That is the max that I am streaming. I'm not streaming in 4K simply because I do prefer the ultra low latency mode, which I'm using right now. That means you get a lower latency from when I'm actually saying something and reading your chat to when you're seeing it, which means interacting with you guys through chat is so much nicer than having 4K and like a 30-second delay. So yeah. Setting 480 as default, yeah. All fine here. Can you try the Anycubic Mega X? The thing is, there are so many printers that are just rebrands or like low effort machines being put out. I don't think I can review them all. If there is one that there's a lot of interest in, like the Artillery X1, though I think that train has passed. That train has left the station. I'm too late on that one, I guess. If there's like any printer where you guys, are really interested in, I might reach out to Gearbest and get one of those. But I just don't have the capacity to test every single Far East printer and every single rebrand of that, because essentially, even if you look at Creality's lineup, who I consider like one of the better Far East manufacturers, they've got so many printers that are essentially the same thing, and I don't want to spend my time on just reviewing the same machine over and over. Yeah. We're almost done. I know the lighting is really bad for this print. What are my thoughts on the Cetus 3D Mark III? Not tested it, don't have it, can't comment on it. When is the next Meltzone podcast? I've seen that pop up. I'll actually get in touch with Stefan after the stream, and we will probably, if everything goes well, be recording a new episode tomorrow. So, again, for those of you who don't know, Stefan from CNC Kitchen and me, we have a podcast together called The Meltzone, or The Meltzone Podcast in full, which you can listen to on any platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we also do have a video that goes along with that, which is available on YouTube here. So check that out if you're interested in live streams. I guess the podcast is not that different to a live stream. It's just the two of us having a friendly talk, and the live stream is just me rambling about. And I see Fox below is appreciating the Meltzone, so yeah, glad you're liking it. RSS, yes, there is an RSS feed available on themelt.zone. That's the website URL. We do have an open, actually MP3 feed. Yeah, themelt.zone/feed/MP3. Look, it's all there. You can do RSS. We do have, are we missing 32 plans for Murph? Oh yeah, that is so outdated. That was 2 weeks ago. Themelt.zone. Subscribe on iTunes. Rate on iTunes. By the way, yeah, if you do have a spare minute, rate us on iTunes. Do we actually not have a rating? Rate us on iTunes. As much appreciated. And we do also have YouTube channel, The Meltzone Podcast, where you can watch our stuff. And we did actually do an episode in person. So yeah, if you're into that,
maybe then I have the chance to go to the East Coast Red Bread Fest.
Yeah, Stefan is great to talk to. Okay. TI already hooked with. Wow. The printer was 12 or 24. I am assuming it's a 24-volt system, though I can't confirm without taking this box apart or actually taking a really good look inside the power supply box. But oh, there's some clicking there. But I can't actually see any labels in there. Need some custom emotes? Oh, you are right. You're right. I could do those. I will get, yeah, Focus Below, I will get working on some custom emotes once I get that other thing that I was talking about on the last supporter hangout. Once I get that done, I'll I'll make sure I get some emotes through that as well. Cool. What's with the black filament dot? Yeah, so there used to be black filament in this hot end. They tested this printer with black filament, I guess. And if you look at the base of the printer, that's also black. So there was some black filament still in the nozzle, and I guess it's just finding like little blobs here and there. Ugh. Smacking my mouse. Want to do that? How about those likes? Yeah, how about those likes? I don't know if he's still here. I guess he's doing something. Have I seen the low-cost King Rune 3D printer? I think I've heard that name, but I've not looked into it. So let's give a quick check from the top. That LCD is looking very blurry. Why are you so blurry? Yes, I can actually tilt it up and show you on the B camera. And we switch back to autofocus. There's the screen. Oh, I guess that's the first close-up that you're seeing of the screen. Yeah, you can see the viewing angles are absolutely atrocious. I guess up and down it's okay. If it was in focus, there we go. The viewing angles are garbage, and this thing is very, very dim. But yeah, 99%. We do get a timer. It is taking a bit longer than Prusa Slicer calculated. I'm not sure what's up with that, but that is essentially the interface that you're getting. TN panel, yes. Please don't burn your fingers again. There's a print. Okay. And now I will crack this print in half while I try to remove it from the bed. It is actually very quiet in here when the printer has stopped. So this should start cooling off, I guess. 64.0, yeah. And are you sure to end printing? Yeah, so I'll just demonstrate the bed adhesion. Yeah, ow. So yeah, this is actually sticking very well. I'm just trying to scrape off the brim right there. That is sticking extremely well, and I don't think I'll be able to get this print off without breaking it. Yeah. So let me try and rotate this in place so you guys get a bit of a view on what this looks like. There we go. So now we're getting dark. Let's turn this light back on. Sorry about the low quality YouTube video production. Yeah, okay. So this is not an easy print. Like I just want to say that before we start criticizing this thing. This is not an easy print. This is a way scaled down print, and you're seeing it actually way zoomed in. So if you look at it at a more normal scale, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, this is not going to come off before the bed is cooled down, especially not with this scraper that just has a flat front edge. There is no bevel or no... Oh, I can actually show you the print like that. That has no bevel or anything like that, so you're just slamming it against the side. You're not actually going under the print. Do I have any tool? Yeah, that Build-Tech spatula supposedly is very nice. I don't actually have any better tool here. Huh. Probably in one of these boxes. Gonna need a razor. I could use the knife. There we go. Success. Not how you use a knife, but if it does the job. Okay, let's get this thing out of the way. And give you a bit of a look at what this thing looks like. So here's the back. Obviously white is really hard to show. White is incredibly hard to show. Yeah. So I guess a bit of commentary from my side. It looks okay. It looks okay. There are a lot of blobs on the front here on the jacket. So there we go. I guess that gives you a good idea of what it looks like. I've been I need to get some hand cream on these fingers. Washing my hands too much. Oh, I guess these days you can't really wash your hands too much. But so a few notes. There are a lot of fuzzies. If you look like here, there in the center there. There's a lot of fuzzies on just the small details and a lot of blobs. Overhang up here, not very good, though I don't know how good the fan was set up. Down here at this cannonball, you can see that it looks like the extruder actually kind of skipped a step or something. Because all of a sudden there's this layer that is not filled properly, and it actually propagates over here as well. Yeah, could do better. And also, if you look at how consistently the layers are stacked, which is going to be something that is going to be very, very hard to show. The layers aren't consistent. It looks like so there. Looks like the layer is a bit thinner, so that makes me think there is an issue with the z-axis where there's like a repeating pattern that the layer height is non-consistent. Obviously back here behind the head we have a bunch of fuzzies, just a bunch of loose filament. It's okay, it looked better from the back. Though, again, this is a challenging print. This is not a print that is expected to look good at that size. Yeah. I don't know, maybe with different print settings, maybe with something that is a bit slower even, or uses thinner layers, or is just a bigger print so you don't see the details that much. You know, maybe, I guess that's a fair look at the part. Maybe that's going to make the printer look a bit better. It's just, I mean, what do you expect? It's a printer that's $270. You can't really expect too much. Now where does the print quality issue come from? Extruder, print profile, the entire bone setup. The hot end probably could use a swap. This single-sided z-axis, I don't know. I want to say that it should be okay because gravity is going to hold it in place, but still, it's a long x-axis and it's not very well constrained. The bed at least now is tightened up. I guess maybe this is relatively tight. Maybe we should have used a different filament because this is just the sample filament that's included with the printer. Yeah, it is what it is. So that is the Alfawise U20. Straight out of the box with not the Cura profile that's been suggested, with a somewhat difficult print. It's the same thing that I always say with Filament tests, or with the Filament tests that I used to do. You can get better prints with the same hardware if you, for example, go slower, print colder. Use sparkly filament that hides some of the flaws. You can go in either way. You can go faster and make it print worse, or you can go slower and you can make it print better, typically. There's probably still a bit of room for improvement there. though I've definitely had printers that printed better out of the box. So oh yeah, thermal runaway test. I was going to say any questions, any notes from chat? Yeah, so let's try the thermal runaway as one last thing, just to see if it's going to set itself on fire. That's always fun. So what I'm going to do is I shall power this up. This is running a custom firmware, so I don't even know if power cut recovery. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. So I did unplug it. I did stop the print and then I unplugged it. So it does have a power cut recovery. Are you sure to recover printing? So if I say recover, it's going to be... It's trying to heat the bed, but it doesn't heat the extruder. That's interesting. So what happens if I just unplug the bed? Let's see. So... bed, there's an icon that says like bed low temperature freezing. There's an ice flake and a temperature gauge. So I guess that is min temp on the bed. So that's good. Is it still heating though? So that's gone now. If you go to extrude, yeah. So it's set the bed temperature to 0. So that's good. Let's try that again. Do 50 and unplug it again. And we get the little ice temperature gauge. That's good. And let's try the extruder as well. Let's just set that to like 60. And unplug that. And obviously the fans turn off. And now it says extruder with a little temperature gauge there. So min temp disconnect is working. That's good. I'm not going to be able to test the thermal runaway protection where, for example, the thermistor falls out of the hot end or drops off the bed. This is because the thermistor here is just taped on, but it is screwed into the hot end, so this one shouldn't be an issue. Maybe the thermistor might drop off the bed. So the runaway protection would be where the printer detects, okay, I've tried heating it up, but I've not seen a temperature increase in the last 10 minutes or so, so probably something's wrong with it. Can't test it right now on the spot, but that's one of the optional ones. Min temp really is the high priority one, I think. Though, yeah, I mean, if you're honest, thermal runaway is kind of important as well. Cool. How did the Pyro print go? Domenico, you can always scroll back. Here's that print. Went okay, I guess. It's a print. Let me show you the print again. There it is. Looks like a print. It's okay. It's okay for what I expected. It is okay. It's not great. It's okay. Anyways, that's... What kind of board does it use? A custom 32-bit by Longer 3D. That's gonna be it for me today, I think. Yeah, I want to say thank you to all of you who have watched this stream, who have watched the recording maybe, once this is up as a recording. Thank you for your tips during the stream. Much appreciated. If you want to support this channel, do so through YouTube memberships or through Patreon. Those are two things that do help out a lot, though, again, other artists probably are a bit worse off than a dude who can do YouTube in his own studio by himself and still has an online audience. So that is totally up to you. Get subscribed, yada, yada, yada. Belts on Podcast, we're going to be recording a new one tomorrow, I think. Wash your hands, stay at home. We'll sit this one out. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being company for me and for everyone else in chat today. Take care. Goodbye. That button.